Imagine night. A thick fog spreads over the ground, as if the air itself wants to hide from human eyes what should remain a secret. Somewhere in the distance, the light of a torch flickers. Its flame trembles as if from fear. Before you are the stone walls of an ancient castle, severe, gloomy, silent. They have stood here for centuries and seem to keep in their depths something that cannot be spoken of out loud. People have long been accustomed to these legends. They think, well, fairy tales, myths, inventions of the Middle Ages. But you only have to listen to the whispers of the past, and you understand. Legends live, they breathe. And among them, there is one whose shadow stretches through the centuries, not losing its strength and frightening even the bravest. This is the legend of the treasures of the Knights Templar, the Templars' treasure. These words sound like a spell. They stir the imagination, painting pictures of untold riches, chests of gold coins, crowns and scepters, precious stones shining in the darkness. But if you think it's all about the gold, you're deeply mistaken. The real mystery lies not in the riches, but in what exactly the Order could have gotten its hands on. Things so powerful and forbidden that even today scientists, historians, and mystics are afraid to pronounce their names. Who were these mysterious warriors in white cloaks with a red cross? The Templars. For some they were heroes, for others, fanatics. For the kings of Europe, dangerous competitors, for ordinary people, a symbol of power and authority. Their order began modestly. Several knights swore to protect pilgrims traveling to holy places. Poor, humble, armed as best they could hardly imagine that they would soon become one of the most influential forces of the medieval world. But the more their power grew, the more secrets and mysteries grew around their name. The treasures of the Order are not just gold and silver accumulated over decades. They are relics. They are knowledge. They are ancient secrets that can change the fate of humanity. They say the Templars found something that had been hidden for centuries under the ruins of Solomon's Temple. Secret dungeons, halls filled with the dust of millennia. In these depths, as the chronicles claim, the knights found something so valuable that it became their main weapon and their main curse. Some claim it was the Holy Grail, a cup that grants eternal life or unlimited power. Others whisper about the Ark of the Covenant, a sacred vessel that contains the very power of God. There are also those who are sure that they found texts left by ancient civilizations, knowledge about the stars, magic and secret laws of the universe. And here's the scariest part. When the Order was destroyed, all these treasures disappeared as if they had never existed. At the very moment when soldiers broke into the Templar treasury in Paris, the chests were empty. No gold, no silver, no relics, nothing. Where did it all go? Rumors multiplied. Some said that the Templars had managed to transport the treasure on ships that secretly left the port of La Rochelle and disappeared into the night. Others claimed that the Order had hidden its relics in advance in underground vaults, under cathedrals, castles, and even in catacombs. Still others believed that the treasures had ended up in the New World, long before Columbus discovered America. But there is another version, the most terrifying. According to it, the treasures never disappeared. They are still right next to us. We just don't see them, and maybe we shouldn't see them. After all, those who came close to solving the mystery often died. They were overtaken by strange illnesses, accidents, or madness, as if the very shadow of the Order still guards its secret. Consider this. More than 700 years have passed since the Templar Order was destroyed, but the treasure is still being sought by archaeologists, treasure hunters, secret societies. Some study ancient maps, others decipher symbols in cathedrals, others dive into sunken mines. And each one is sure that he or she will be able to find the answer. But each time the truth eludes them. Today we will go on a journey into the world of this great mystery. We will talk about who the Templars were, where their power came from, what treasures they could hide, and what happened on that fateful day when the Order was destroyed. We will analyze the versions of the disappearance of the treasure, secret signs, mystical coincidences, and even curses that still hang over those who are looking for an answer. But the main thing is that we will try to understand, what kind of treasure is this? Gold, precious stones, or something greater much more dangerous and mysterious than any riches? Remember, this story will not leave you indifferent. It will take you into the depths of centuries, into a world where the boundaries between reality and myth are blurred. In a world where the truth is hidden behind a veil of darkness, and only those who dare to look behind this veil will be able to touch it. So get comfortable, turn off the lights, and get ready. Ahead lies a mystery that kings, monks, adventurers, and mystics have been trying to solve for centuries. A mystery that takes us to the very heart of the Middle Ages. The Templar Order is not just a military brotherhood, it is a mystery, surrounded by secrets and legends that have excited the imagination for centuries. To understand the fate of their treasure, you need to go back to the very beginning, to the sources where this mysticism is born. 1119, Jerusalem. Dusty streets, the noise of the crowd, pilgrims walking to the temples, and the shadows of enemies hiding in the rocks. The Holy Promised Land is seething with blood, fanaticism, and war. Amid the chaos, a small group of knights appears, just 9 men, sworn to protect Christian pilgrims. They were poor, their armor was rusty, their weapons were old, but their eyes burned with determination. These 9 knights gave birth to an order that was destined to become one of the most powerful forces of the Middle Ages. They were called the Poor Knights of Christ and the Temple of Solomon, the Templars. Their symbol, 2 warriors on 1 horse, signified poverty and brotherhood. But this image quickly turned into a banner of strength under which entire armies would tremble. The Templars quickly became favorites of the church. The Pope granted them special privileges. The order was subordinate only to the Holy See, did not pay taxes, and had the right to build their own fortresses. They soon became the elite of the Crusaders. Their white cloaks with a red cross inspired fear in their enemies and admiration in their allies. But in addition to the sword, the Templars had another weapon: money. They created the first system of bank transfers in Europe. A pilgrim could leave gold in France and receive it in Jerusalem with a receipt. So they became bankers for kings and popes. Their treasury grew, but so did the rumors. The most mysterious chapter in the history of the Templars is their stay in the ruins of the Temple of Solomon. Chronicles claim that the knights spent many years searching for something in the underground corridors beneath the temple. What exactly? The rumors are the most incredible. The Ark of the Covenant is a box that contained the tablets of Moses. It supposedly had the ability to incinerate enemies and bring victory to its owner. The Holy Grail is the cup from which Christ drank at the Last Supper, a symbol of eternal life, mystical power, and authority over the destinies of people. Secret manuscripts are texts that reveal the secret laws of the universe: alchemy, astrology, and magic. It was said that it was in the dungeons of the temple that the knights found what turned them from poor warriors into keepers of secrets. Some chronicles mention that after these excavations, the order changed. The Templars became even more closed, their rituals even more mysterious. It was said that at secret meetings, they worshipped strange artifacts and called upon the power of the invisible world. Legends say that underground storage rooms appeared in the Order's castles, where no one except the initiated had access. Witnesses claimed that sometimes a hum, light, and even singing that could not be explained could be heard from these rooms. But the higher you rise, the harder you fall. By the 14th century, the Order's wealth and power had become the envy of Philip IV the Fair, the King of France. He owed the Templars enormous sums of money and wanted to get rid of his debts. October 13, 1307 is a date that became a black day in the history of the Order. By order of the king, hundreds of knights were arrested in one night. The Templars were accused of heresy, witchcraft, and devil worship. Under torture, they confessed to everything that was demanded of them. But the strangest thing is that the king's men did not find the main thing: the treasure of the Order. The treasuries were empty. Gold, relics, secret books, everything was gone. Since then, there have been many versions. The treasures had been removed in advance. Several ships had left the port of La Rochelle the night before the arrests. Their cargo was a secret. No one had seen these ships again. Treasures are hidden in dungeons. There are rumors that the Templar castles, especially in Paris and Rennes, Le Chateau, have secret rooms filled with gold and relics. The treasures are hidden beyond the seas. Some believe that the Knights took them to Scotland or even to the New World, overseas long before Columbus. The true treasure is not gold. The most mystical version, the Templars' treasure, is knowledge. Alchemical formulas, texts about immortality, secret symbols that give power stronger than any army. Every century people go in search of the Templars' treasures. Some search for gold, some for relics, and some for the truth hidden in ancient manuscripts. And each time the story repeats itself. Searches are cut short by mysterious misfortunes, diseases take away explorers, ships disappear in storms, expeditions fall apart. Is there a curse? Or did the Templars really put an invisible seal on their secrets? One of the most popular legends is connected with the port of La Rochelle, which was under the control of the Order in the 13th, 14th centuries. The Templars had their own fleet, fast maneuverable ships, capable of escaping from any royal squadron. On the night of October 13, 1307, when the arrest began, several ships left the harbor. No one knows what was in their holds. Some believe that they were carrying the gold and silver of the Order. Others are sure that they were carrying sacred relics found under the Temple of Solomon. Where did these ships go? According to one version, to Scotland, where the Templars were sheltered by King Robert the Bruce. There they could hide the treasure in castles and monasteries, leaving Masonic symbols to their descendants. According to another version, the ships went overseas, to lands that Europe had not yet discovered. This makes the Templars one of the possible predecessors of Columbus. Mystical detail. Old chronicles mention that strange singing, similar to prayers or incantations, was heard in the harbor that night. Fishermen said that the ships sailed into the darkness to the sounds, as if the seas themselves blessed their path. No less popular is the version that the treasure was hidden in the dungeons of the Order's castles. Two places attract special attention. The Temple of Paris is a Templar fortress in the heart of France. It is said that underneath it, there were entire catacombs where chests of gold and secret books could be kept. However, when the castle was destroyed in the 18th century, nothing was found, at least officially. Rennes, Le Château, is a mysterious French town associated with many mystical stories. In the 19th century, Abbot Saunière lived here, suddenly becoming rich after allegedly finding ancient manuscripts. Many are sure that he stumbled upon traces of the Templars. Legends say that these dungeons are guarded by invisible forces. It is believed that anyone who came too close to the secrets of the Order either died under strange circumstances or went mad. One of the most mystical stories is connected with the Canadian Oak Island. At the end of the 18th century, local residents discovered a mysterious mine with numerous traps there. Strange boards, symbols, and traces of human work were found at depth. Every time researchers tried to reach the bottom of the mine, water from underground channels filled it in a matter of minutes. It is believed that this is not just a pit, but a carefully thought-out defense system. Many treasure hunters are sure that this is where the Templars hid their treasure, transporting it across the ocean. A creepy detail: in the chronicles of the 19th century, there is a record of fireballs being seen near the mine at night and screams being heard, as if from underground. Coincidence or a sign of protection? There is also this theory: the treasure never disappeared, it simply passed into other hands. The Templars who escaped arrest dissolved in Europe and joined secret organizations that later became known as Masons or Rosicrucians. These societies preserved the symbols of the Order, and most importantly, its secret knowledge. What if the real treasure was not gold, but documents and manuscripts that opened the doors to secret sciences? Alchemy, astrology, the magic of numbers, mystical rituals. All this would become a weapon much more powerful than chests of coins. Symbols associated with the Templars are still found on buildings and churches in Europe. Some consider them simple decorations, while others are sure that they are codes and marks indicating the way to the treasure. The most sinister version claims that the treasure exists, but it is cursed. Before the burning, the Grand Master of the Order, Jacques de Molay, allegedly cast a terrible spell. He called on King Philip and Pope Clement to appear before God's judgment, and both died within a year. Since then, they say, the treasures of the Templars are guarded not by people, but by forces from another world. Anyone who tries to take possession of them will bring death upon himself. Coincidence or not, many treasure hunt expeditions ended in tragedy. Some treasure hunters died of disease, others died in accidents, and still others simply disappeared without a trace. One of the most famous treasures attributed to the Templars is the Holy Grail. According to legend, this is the cup from which Christ drank at the Last Supper, and into which Joseph of Arimathea later collected the Savior's blood after the crucifixion. The cup was said to have incredible powers, granted immortality, healed diseases, revealed knowledge about the secrets of the universe. Many researchers believe that it was the Templars who found this relic during excavations in Jerusalem. Interestingly, there are references in old chronicles. The Knights of the Order kept a miraculous vessel radiating light. Some considered this a poetic image, others a real description. Mysticism. According to one version, the Grail was never an object. It is a code of knowledge, an ancient book in which truths are written that change the very essence of man. In this case, the cup is just a symbol, the key to the immortality of the spirit. Another version says that the Templars found not the Grail, but the Ark of the Covenant, the very same biblical shrine in which the tablets with the 10 Commandments were kept. The Ark, according to legend, possessed incredible energy. The Old Testament says that it could bring down city walls, burn enemies with heavenly fire, and even kill anyone who touched it without a blessing. If the Templars did indeed find the Ark beneath the ruins of Solomon's temple, then it would be clear why their order so quickly gained power. Perhaps it was this relic that gave them power that made even kings tremble. Eerie evidence. Some chronicles claim that strange phenomena occurred in the order's castles. People heard a rumble similar to thunder, although the sky was clear. In some dungeons, charred stones were found as if they had been touched by heavenly fire. Another hypothesis is related to secret manuscripts. The Templars allegedly found underground libraries where texts from the time of King Solomon were stored. These manuscripts could contain alchemy formulas, descriptions of magical rituals, maps of ancient star systems, knowledge about the origin of the world. Strange coincidences speak in favor of this version. Many Templars mastered sciences inaccessible to ordinary knights. They knew mathematics, medicine, astronomy, and were able to build complex fortifications. Perhaps it was precisely because of this secret knowledge that they became the most powerful financiers in Europe. After all, possession of such information allowed them to predict wars, harvests, and natural disasters. Of Baphomet occupies a special place. During the trials of the Knights Templar, many knights confessed under torture that they worshipped a strange idol. It was described as a head with a beard, sometimes with horns. Scientists argue about what it was: symbol of wisdom, the image of John the Baptist, ancient pagan deity. But there is also a dark version. Baphomet was not a statue, but an artifact brought from the Holy Land. Perhaps it was a magical object through which the knights communicated with the forces of another world. To this day, some researchers claim that the statue of Baphomet emitted a voice that came not from within, but as if from the air around it. And here the main question arises: what exactly were the Templars looking for and protecting? If it was the Grail, their mission was to preserve the divine secret. If it was the Ark of the Covenant, then the Order possessed a weapon that had no equal. If ancient manuscripts, then it was the power of knowledge. If the idol is Baphomet, then perhaps the Order came into contact with something that medieval people called the devil. Each of these relics could have changed the fate of the world, but they all disappeared along with the Order. And here's what's surprising: the search continues today. Archaeologists, historians, and even enthusiastic treasure hunters around the world are trying to solve the mystery. In Paris, Rennes, Le Chateau, Oak Island, and Scotland, excavations and research are underway everywhere. But whenever someone claims to be close to solving the mystery, strange things happen. Documents disappear, scientists die suddenly, expeditions encounter unpredictable disasters. It's as if history itself is protecting the secret. Many legends claim that the Templars' treasures were hidden in the dungeons beneath the largest cathedrals and fortresses. One of the most mysterious cathedrals is Chartres Cathedral in France. Built in the 12th century, it amazes with the precision of its architecture, symbols, and unusual arrangement of stained glass windows. It is believed that the Templars had a hand in its construction. Some researchers suggest that the cathedral was built not only as a temple, but also as a castle for secrets. Its catacombs have not yet been fully explored, and rumors circulate among the people that the Grail is hidden there. In Paris, under the former headquarters of the Templars, fragments of underground passages have been preserved, but access to them is closed. Some have collapsed, some are walled up. It is curious that during attempts at excavation in the 19th century, accidents repeatedly occurred. Workers died in strange collapses, and one of the engineers disappeared without a trace, leaving only a lantern burning at the entrance. It is believed that on the night before the arrest, some of the knights managed to load chests of gold and relics onto ships docked in the port of La Rochelle. The chronicles mention several ships that set out to sea that night, their traces lost forever. Where could they have gone? Some say to England, where the order managed to find refuge with the Allies. Others say that the ships headed to Scotland, where the Templars later participated in secret rites. Others say that the ships reached the New World long before Columbus, and it was there in America that they hid the treasure. The most terrifying legend is connected with this fleet. In the 17th century, fishermen allegedly saw a huge black ship without sails in the Atlantic, which glided along the water, making a hum. Strange lights flickered on board. Some considered it a sea illusion, others a cursed ship of the Templars. A special place is occupied by the legend of Oak Island off the coast of Canada. Since the 18th century, mysterious mines filled with traps, wooden ceilings, and strange signs have been found there. They found stone slabs with codes, scraps of parchment, chains, pieces of gold. But no one was able to reach the main chamber completely. Each time the mine is flooded with seawater, as if protecting its secrets. Modern researchers are sure this is indeed a Templar vault. After all, who, if not them, could have built such a complex defense system in hundreds of years before the discovery of America? And here's what's interesting. Over 3 centuries of searching, many expedition members have died under mysterious circumstances. They say that there is a curse over the treasure. 7 lives must be given before the secret is revealed. So far, 6 people have died. An equally intriguing version is that the Templar treasures did not disappear, but were handed over to the Masons. Many symbols of Freemasonry clearly echo the symbols of the Templars: square and compass, star signs, crosses, and secret codes. Legend has it that after the defeat of the order, some of the knights fled to Scotland, where they came into contact with local cathedral builders. Over time, these unions grew into a brotherhood that is today known as Freemasonry. If this is true, then it is the Masons who are the guardians of the treasure and relics. But their secret rituals are still full of hints that the treasure is not gold, but knowledge. The mystical version cannot be ignored. Before his death, Grandmaster Jacques de Molay allegedly cursed King Philip IV and Pope Clement IV, calling on them to appear before God's judgment within a year. Surprisingly, the prediction came true. Both died within a year of the master's execution. Since then, many have believed that anyone who tries to take possession of the Templar treasures is doomed. There are also rumors of more modern events. In the 20th century, several researchers who claimed to be close to solving the mystery died in car accidents or suddenly from illness. And one famous French archaeologist disappeared during an excavation and was never found. Even today, this mystery haunts people. There are reports that during the restoration of an old castle in France, workers found a cache of parchments and a strange metal vessel in the wall. But all the finds disappeared before the official publication. Did someone take them? Or did the authorities decide to hide the truth? And in 2017, information appeared on the internet. A group of diggers in Paris stumbled upon an underground hall with sarcophagi and chests. They managed to take only a few photos, after which their accounts were deleted, and the researchers themselves stopped communicating. When we look back at all the legends about the fate of the Templar treasure, it seems that we are not just looking at a collection of individual stories, but at a huge pattern of secrets, woven from facts, rumors, and mysticism. Dungeons where relics are hidden under stone vaults. Ships that disappeared in the night and carried gold beyond the horizon. Distant islands where mines seem to breathe a curse. Secret societies that supposedly continue to preserve the traditions of the order. And finally, the curse that hangs over all who dare to search. Doesn't it seem as if the secret protects itself? But what was actually in the Templar treasures? Many imagined chests filled to the brim with gold coins and jewels. However, if we remember that the order was engaged in finance, trade, politics, then gold was just a tool for them. The information could have been much more valuable. Imagine ancient manuscripts found in the dungeons of Solomon's temple, maps showing the way to unknown lands, secrets of alchemy and astronomy, possibly texts that could change the idea of Christianity and the very structure of the world. If this is so, then the real treasure is not treasure at all, but knowledge that can change the history of mankind. It is curious that many cathedrals and chapels built by the Templars are full of symbols, the meaning of which has not been fully deciphered. Stained glass windows depicting scenes that are not part of the canon. Labyrinths on the floor, which some researchers believe are maps. Secret signs on stones, reminiscent of ciphers. Could it be that the Templars left clues behind? That their legacy is a puzzle to be solved by those who are ready? We must not forget that the search continues in the 21st century. There are groups of researchers who are sure that the treasure lies in the dungeons of Paris. Others study star maps and find coincidences with the location of the Order's castles. And some believe that the Templars hid knowledge about technologies that we do not possess even today. And always next to them is mysticism, terrible coincidences, sudden deaths, disappearances, legends that seem to come to life. Perhaps the answer is simple. The Templars really did hide their wealth, but the essence of the treasure has long ceased to be gold. Each version is a reflection of human fears and hopes. He who seeks gold sees chests. Those who thirst for power believe in secret societies. He who seeks truth seeks knowledge in ancient books. But all these paths converge on one thing. A secret is stronger than a fact. And as long as it lives, it carries away new generations of seekers. Could it be that the Templars themselves wanted this? That they deliberately hid their relics so that no one would find them until the end? But at the same time, everyone was eager to look for them? After all, a secret is a powerful tool. It makes people believe, move forward, spend their strength and lives. And this is the true immortality of the Order. The Templar treasure is not gold or books. It is a legend that does not die for centuries. And if you listen closely, you can hear its echo, whispers in the catacombs, knocking in the mines of Oak Island, the clanging of chains in dark dungeons. This secret still lives. And perhaps one day it will be revealed, but only to those willing to pay the price. The Templar treasure. Legend or reality? After 700 years of mysterious events and searches, we still do not know the answer. It could have been found, but disappeared so as not to fall into the hands of the unprepared. It could have remained hidden in the dungeons, where stones keep the memory of centuries, or it is floating somewhere around the world, on ships that have never been seen by human eyes. Each new generation of seekers encounters mysteries, strange symbols, codes, secret signs left by knights. But the mystery casts a shadow as if history itself were trying to hide its treasure. There is more to this search than just gold. It is a search for meaning, a search for power, a search for knowledge that goes beyond ordinary understanding. Many claim that the treasure is guarded by a curse. People disappear, illnesses haunt explorers, misfortunes happen without explanation. Some stories seem incredible, but they are repeated from century to century. The legend of the Templars is not just a fairy tale, but a warning. The true treasure is not for everyone. But who said that wealth is the most important thing? The secrets left by the Templars could change the history of Europe. The knowledge they kept could control destinies, open paths to the secrets of the universe. That is why the Order has always been the object of envy, fear, and the hunt for power. And now think, perhaps you are the one standing on the threshold of the solution. After all, the mystery lives and calls. It hides in old castles, among the ruins of cathedrals, in the chambers of libraries that time preserves. Every researcher, every historian, every curious person is a potential witness to the great mystery. But is it worth looking for? After all, history is full of examples when the thirst for treasure turned into tragedy. Those who tried to approach the treasure without understanding faced unimaginable difficulties. People lost their minds, health, life. And yet the attraction of this mystery is too great. It beckons, excites the blood, and ignites the imagination. We will never know exactly what happened to the Templar treasure. It could be at the bottom of the sea, hidden in dungeons given to secret societies, or destroyed by time. But the legend itself lives on. It inspires searches, gives birth to mystical stories, and keeps us in suspense. And here at this moment, I turn to you. Do you believe that the treasures really exist? Or is it just a symbol, a myth created so that humanity would remember the power and secrets of the Order? Your opinion is important. Write it in the comments. Which versions seem more plausible to you? Where, in your opinion, could the treasure be hidden? If you enjoyed this journey through the centuries, if you are interested in touching the mysticism, history, and mysteries of the past, support the channel. Like, watch or subscribe, and turn on notifications so as not to miss new exciting stories. Remember, the secrets of the past are always close by. They are waiting to be found, but at the same time they test patience, courage, and wisdom. The Templar treasure is more than gold. It is a symbol of the eternal search, a symbol of human curiosity and the desire to unravel what has been hidden for centuries. Close your eyes and imagine for a moment those dungeons where knights once walked along stone corridors, where candles trembled in the air, where ancient runes whispered. There, in the darkness and silence, a treasure could lie that changes everything. Perhaps it is waiting for you. And if you dare to continue this search with us, if you want to plunge into the world of secrets and mysticism, subscribe, because ahead are even more mysteries, even more secrets, and even more stories that history hides. Remember, the secret is always there. You just have to dare to look behind its veil. And who knows? Maybe you will be the one to witness what many have tried to find, but could not.